let's do Dave Rubin since I wanted to do this yesterday, um, as an homage to Michael. Dave Rubin, I think, was one of his funnest people to to dunk on some level. Probably Jordan Peterson comes up there quite a bit too. But here is Dave Rubin. He wants to go back to pre-COVID times because government has become a virus.
And look how different the world is than it was a year and a half ago. I am pretty sure that if any of us could do that, like pull a little Thanos, not eliminate half the life in the universe, but just pull a little Thanos and just go back in time, right? If we could just, fire up the flux capacitor in the DeLorean, get the 1.21 gigawatts and go back to a year and a half, that world, I'm pretty sure most of us would do it.
Can we just pause it? Can we just pause it? This guy, so desperate to seem like he actually knows anything, has gone deep into the Marvel comic universe, I guess. It's not really that deep. You watch it and then you understand what he's talking about. But you could just say, if we could go back in time. If we could go back in time and then...
What do you mean by that, though? Exactly.
If you had a certain amount of gigawattage on your DeLorean, like in Back to the Future.
You mean, I get it. So like you can, I couldn't understand like going back into like, what does that even mean? That's
like if you could do this, like Thanos.
Okay.
Like Thanos, go back in time.
Oh, like experience the 1980s again.
Right, exactly. Or go back to like...
You should have said the snap your fingers thing first.
Snap your fingers like Thanos, and you could go back to, pre-COVID.
But I learned from Tim Pool, Thanos is about like wiping out half the universe. That's not involved.
Well, yeah, but not that part about it.
Oh,
not that part about it. Just the part about like where he snaps with his fingers like that and then goes back in time. I mean, I love the fact that he's just sort of like, let me show my bona fides by explaining from two different movies, kids' movies, what going back in time means.
It used to be going out of your way to make Shakespeare references, and now it's like, let's try to get Thanos and Back to the Future. Maybe we get E.T. in there too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Go, take it back here.
And look how different the world is than it was a year and a half ago. I am pretty sure that if any of us could do that, like pull a little Thanos, not eliminate half the life in the universe, but just pull a little Thanos and just go back in time, right? If we could just, fire up the flux capacitor in the DeLorean, get the 1.21 gigawatts and go back to a year and a half, that world, I'm pretty sure most of us would do it because something ain't right here. And I don't think it's that the biggest worry is the COVID virus. I think it's the virus of governments and authoritarians that are rampaging through the West and tech companies and all of these things to control what we say and who we say it to and when we say it and how we can say it. And then, of course, because of technology, we can expose the people who are saying one thing now when a year ago they were saying something completely different.
First of all, it's gigawatts, not gigawatts. But
that's the reference in Back to the Future. He says gigawatts.
Oh, is that right? Okay, sorry about that. Then I don't know. I'm not up on my kids' movies.
Who's behind that, Sam?
Oh, interesting. So the real problem, the reason why people want to go back is because too many people are getting deplatformed for pretending that COVID's not real. And many of us would snap our fingers like Thanos and go back to a time where you wouldn't get deplatformed for denying a pandemic that was raging through the country. That's what's raging.
Yeah, no, that time period would just be right around the corner, so you could be anxious about it coming.
Exactly. He hasn't quite figured out, like, well, you're not, if you go back in time, time is still going to go forward. It's just that you're going to relive it again. But then all those people could take the time and get on Gab first. And Gab could get better servers.
You mean locals?
Yeah, or locals. Everybody would know to go on locals. It's unbelievable how relentless they are in hammering this stuff. Never with any type of solution to these, because of course they don't actually want to diminish the power of these tech giants. They just want them to exist so that they can, sort of drive their, I don't know, participation in other, tech projects.
Rubin goes back in time to the start of the pandemic and says, like, relax, guys. I know this sounds scary, but it's only going to kill about 600 to 900,000 people after like a year and a half. So nothing to worry about.
In this country. In this country
alone.
In this country alone. Don't worry about that, but do worry about the fact that the president won't be on Twitter. That's the problem. Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.